The Gita begins with this verse. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dhritarashtra says, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kim kurvat Sanjay. O Sanjay, what did my sons and Pandu's sons do when they, eager for battle, assembled on the field of Dharma, on the field of Kurukshetra? This is the opening verse of the Gita. Dhritarashtra is sitting in his palace and he asks his courtier Sanjay to narrate the happenings of the battlefield to him. In the story, Sanjay has been endowed with the supernatural ability to see the happenings of a distance, so he can see the battlefield directly from the palace and he can narrate the happenings to the king. So the entire Gita is actually a narration by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. This verse begins with the word dharma. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. This is significant. Dharma is the natural law of justice. We will read a lot about it in future, but for now we can understand that dharma is the natural law of justice. It rewards the righteous and makes the wrongdoers suffer. The fate of the battle will therefore be determined by this natural law, dharma. That is why the battlefield is called Dharma Kshetra. This is symbolic of our entire life, because our whole life is a field of action and it is governed by the law of dharma. For every right action, there awaits a rewarding experience, and for every wrongdoing, there awaits suffering. No one can escape the consequences of their actions. Then Sanjay goes on to describe the entire setting of the battlefield. The names of all the leading warriors of both sides are mentioned. And then each of the leading warriors blows their conch, their shankh, as an indication of their readiness to fight. This goes on till the 20th verse of the chapter. Then, in verse 21, Arjuna asks Krishna to take their chariot to the middle of the battlefield, as he wanted to see clearly the members of the opposing front. Krishna takes the chariot to the middle, and Arjuna looks at the people assembled in front of him. But when he sees his own cousins, uncles, nephews, and so many of his relatives standing in the opposing army, he is overcome with grief. He is overcome with deep agony. He says, Krapaya paraya vishto vishidan niddam bravit drashtavemam swajanam Krishna yuyutsam samupasthitam. O Krishna, seeing these relatives and friends of mine who have assembled here with the intention of fighting, my limbs become languid and my mouth becomes completely dry. Here is a man who has fought so many battles before. He is a star warrior. He has come prepared to fight even today, knowing full well who the opponents were. But when he actually sees them, I guess the reality of the situation sinks in, and he completely loses all his control, all his strength and wisdom. He becomes weak, especially on seeing Bhishma Pitama and his own guru Dronacharya standing there. How could he fight them? These people who were deserving of his worship, who had taught him everything that he knew. And therefore, Arjuna's grief is understandable. But it has to be overcome, because the battle was for a bigger cause: justice, dharma. And if it is Arjuna's own relative standing with the wrongdoers, then he would have to fight against them. But Arjuna cannot think so objectively right now. He says he cannot find in him the strength to fight his own relatives. He says that he does not see any good from killing his own people. What will he do with the kingdom when all his loved ones are dead? He says that he has no desire for winning the kingdom, especially at such a dear cost. Na kankshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhani cha. Kim no rajyene govinda, kim bhoger jivitenva. Krishna, I do not desire victory, neither kingdom nor pleasure. What need do we have of a kingdom or enjoyments and livelihood, O Govinda, when all our loved ones stand arrayed for battle, ready to die? So we see that he is completely overcome with grief. And actually, he is deluded right now. He has forgotten that he is not fighting to win the battle or to enjoy the kingdom. He is there only to restore justice. He has completely forgotten all this. He goes on to say, Nihatya dharta rashtrannah ka pritihi syad janardana papamevashredasmin hatvetanatataina. What happiness shall we derive by killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Sin alone will accrue to us by killing them. Sin. He talks of sin, pap. He says that although they don't see the evil arising from this battle because they are consumed with greed, but we see it, and so we must not fight. Again, these verses are interesting because it seems that Arjuna is making a very valid argument. But the fact is, his sense of right and wrong is clouded by his sentiments and his attachment for his loved ones. Later in the Gita, Krishna will help Arjuna understand that sin or papa accrues only if one does not perform one's dharma, one's duty, in a given time and place. And in Arjuna's position, it would be sinful to retreat from the battle and let injustice prevail. Krishna will also explain to Arjuna what a truly righteous action is. An action which is not motivated by one's personal gain, but which ensures the common good of all, which is not done out of attachment or desire for the fruit of the action, but only for the fulfillment of one's duty. Such an action is the truly right action. But at present, Krishna is quiet. He lets Arjuna speak. In the next few verses, Arjuna goes on to describe how the destruction of one's family members would ultimately corrupt the sanctity and purity of relationships, and would inevitably lead the Pandavas to suffering. Then why engage in such a battle? He asks. Here one needs to remember that it is not for the attainment of any kind of pleasure or avoidance of suffering for that matter that the battle is being fought. The battle is for the restoration of justice. Pleasure, pain, suffering, and well-being are natural consequences of their causes. They cannot be avoided, nor can they be our motives to act. The only motive to act should be the fulfillment of one's dharma, one's duty. And Arjuna's duty as a warrior was to fight for justice. The interesting thing is that Arjuna knows what the right thing to do is. That is why he is here. But he is unable to act upon it because his emotions and attachments have overpowered him. This is the basic conflict here. And it is a very relatable conflict. Many a times we find our own self in Arjuna's situation. And it is difficult to be objective. We know what we need to do, but we are unable to do it because we feel weak. If we think about such situations more, we will realize that they are rooted in a much deeper problem. The problem of ignorance. We are ignorant of reality. We are ignorant of our purpose in life. We are ignorant of the importance of performing our duties. We are ignorant of the importance of detachment. We don't even know what detachment really is. We are ignorant about so much. Such dilemmas only show the deep-rooted ignorance. Thus, Krishna will slowly try to remove Arjuna's ignorance on every level. He won't simply tell Arjuna, fight because it is for justice. Arjuna already knows that. What he does not know is why fulfilling his duty is necessary. And what will it lead to? Krishna will explain this larger reality to him. He will explain the larger scheme of things within which Arjuna's action fits in, so that he understands the right approach to the situation at hand. We will continue with the second chapter in the next video.